that she could share that with us. So so many calls here tonight. Let's see. Let's go to Daniel in British Columbia. Hey, Daniel, you're on the air with us. What's up?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on?
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Lloyd. Hi, Dan. Okay, I just have a comment and some suggestion.
Comment and suggestions. Okay.
As much as I appreciate learning about Jehovah Witness, and let's say Mormonism, and I understand that they are abusive to their members, but relatively speaking, they're not as bad as the other denominations or religions. I mean, the other denominations and religions, they want to bring destruction to the world.
That's a hot take.
On other people.
That's a hot take. I gotta disagree with you there, Daniel. I don't know, but I'm gonna let Lloyd. I already know he disagrees, so I'll let him speak on this one.
I'm always fascinated to hear people say that I shouldn't be talking about a group that I happen to have intimate knowledge about when they are, for example, keeping a database of sex offenders at their headquarters that they're not passing on to law enforcement. Why do you think I shouldn't be talking about that? Why do you think that shouldn't be on the public's radar?
No, Lloyd, I did not say you should not be talking, but I think we should also spend some time talking about the other religion that are worse than.
I'm not stopping you from talking about it. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, so I think this is, Daniel, this is a criticism I hear sometimes from people. It's like, oh, well, why aren't we talking about this other bad thing? And, like the beginning of the show, I just went on this whole spiel about how I didn't know about any of this stuff about the Jehovah's Witnesses until just a few years ago. There's lots of people who still really don't know about the information that we're talking about. And unless we keep talking about it, unless we keep bringing it up, even if we hear it over and over again, there's somebody out there that's hearing it for the first time. So we got to keep that in mind. And if we keep that perspective in mind, I think it makes sense that we have people like Lloyd who, are dedicating a good portion of their lives talking about this stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually appreciate Lloyd because it's very interesting. I mean, and what I'm saying is we should also devote some time on other denominations because...
I disagree. I don't see how everybody has to talk about every denomination. I mean... I don't know as much as, for example, Yasmin Mohammed knows about fundamentalist Islam. I would sound stupid if I started trying to talk about all the nuances of Sharia and Shia and what have you. I'd rather leave her to it because she knows what she's talking about, and she leaves me to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses. Why can't the former members of different groups have the freedom to focus on their former groups? Why do they have to talk about all groups?
So we're getting some audio issues there. Daniel, I'm going to put you back on for just a second and see if that's cleared up. Nope. Still hasn't cleared up. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to keep
abducted by aliens.
That was unfortunate because it was right as you were responding back. And we can't get the response. Okay, so Daniel, I'm going to keep you on hold there. Hopefully, maybe one of our call screeners can talk and see. If not, we might have to let you go. But, again, it's something I hear sometimes. It's like, why aren't you talking about this group? Or, what about this guys? And it's like, look, nobody's, again, like you said, nobody's stopping you from talking about it. One of the common ones is, why do we talk about Christianity so much? It's like, because Christianity is all around us, man. I'm not talking about the obscure alien cult that, lives in Guatemala somewhere. I'm talking about the people that are around me the most who affect my life the most, So
I think it's coming from a good place. I think it's coming from a place of, we need to make sure that all of these different abusive groups are covered equally. But quite frankly, if you're going to single out a religion and suggest that it's being covered equally, you do not single out Jehovah's Witnesses. They are not getting nearly the exposure they ought to be getting.
I agree.
So I'm never going to apologize for talking about them.
So I got a note here from the producer that Daniel has fixed this stuff. So Daniel, I'm putting you back on the air. Okay. Can you hear us?
Lloyd, I'm sorry.
Hi, Daniel. Are we still friends?
Yes, of course. I really appreciate you about Jehovah's Witness. But what I'm saying is, as a show, we should also devote some time. Well, not today, because today it's your show, okay. But what I'm saying on other shows, we should be talking about the other religions, like the ones that want to bring the end of the world.
Well, I don't run any other shows, Daniel. I don't know what you want out of us. You know, like what?
No, sometimes let's say maybe we can invite some
So in the next show, you invite Yasmin Mohammed, and she talks about Islam. Are you then going to call in and say, well, you should be talking about Mormons, or you should be talking about, who gets to decide which religion should be talked about?
Let me tell you what I think. Okay, I think that we should be talking about the evangelicals, because they are the ones who want to bring the end of the world.
Well, you've subjectively singled out evangelicals. I thought you were talking about ISIS. They seem to be quite intent on bringing about the end of the world.
Both of them. I think both of them are trying to outdo each other right now.
Yeah. I can't speak for Lloyd does this channel. I try to bring on people of all different backgrounds on this show. I've had several people from X backgrounds. I will say, though, it is interesting when we talk about the evangelicals and like especially policies with like Israel and stuff, where it's like, they're actually trying to bring out like biblical prophecies and stuff, and that's working in our current government right now. Like that's definitely a thing. And I agree with you on the point that we should talk about that stuff more, especially with people outside of our circles who like already are pretty familiar with that. But I will never say to Lloyd like, hey Lloyd, you're talking about Jehovah's Witnesses too much. You need to talk about other stuff, because like I think
say that. Sorry if you misunderstand me, but I like I said, I'm grateful to Lloyd for giving me more knowledge about the Jehovah's Witness, or the Mormonism, or the Scientologies. I mean, every religion has its own beliefs, right? That are harmful to either their members or also to the other people, to non-members. But what I'm saying is, right now, the most destructive ones. I mean, like 40 years ago, we would say that the Catholics were the more harmful to the world, right? But now they've lost their power, and then another denomination took over. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I do get what you're saying. I just think that, look, if you have something to say, Daniel, I have a YouTube channel, and I often say to people who say, well, why don't you talk about this in your videos, and why don't you talk about that in your videos? I say, look, the YouTube upload button works just as well for you as it does for me. So if you've got something to say about whatever group, no one's stopping you from talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, on your video, you can talk about Jehovah's Witness, and I can tune into you if I want Jehovah's Witness. But what I'm saying is, Truth Wanted, it's kind of like, it's open. The subject is open. The show is open to all kinds of subjects and denominations. That's all.
The producers have taken your suggestion on board.
Tell you what, I'll make a conservative effort to try to get some more ex-evangelicals in particular, if you want, Daniel. But I like I said, I try to get on as many different kinds of people as I can, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job with that so far. But
I understand. It's really nice, actually. But what I'm saying is, maybe we should also kind of like educate the general public about this thing.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, go tell the Christians how wrong Christians are. Like that's kind of been a thing we've been trying to do. I don't know, like I feel like that's been the summation of our efforts in the past few years. But anyway, I see what you're saying, Daniel, and like I definitely think that that's an important thing to talk about too. I do want to get to some other callers though. But thanks again.
I don't want to use too much of their time.
Well, thank you so much for calling. Yeah,
thank you, Daniel.
And in the future, we'll definitely talk more about evangelicals too. Again, it's just there's a lot. I'll never run out of stuff to talk about on here. You know what I mean?
There's an unending flow of material, and
Yeah, so. I do wish more of the general public did know about, evangelicals and their role in the U.S. government and stuff. But anyway, we have tons and tons of calls. So I want to get to some more people tonight.